All right, Revelation 1:8, 666. All right, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is, was, and which is to come, the Almighty. Okay, well, look at this. Alpha particles, nuclear energy, 6.6. Okay, as the void goes through alpha decay. Okay, now this is going to create, this alpha decay creates an alpha particle. Okay, which is 2 neutrons, 2 protons. But prior to that, there's no color charge. There's only protons and neutrons because they have color charge. Okay, the pre-singularity, there is no color charge. It's Bose-Einstein condensate. But the thing is, the alpha particles, or the alpha decay, is going to form neutrons. And then those are going to form and decay into protons. You have the neutrons and the protons. It's the constituents of the up and down quarks, which are neutrons and protons. All right, now, unlucky 13. 18, again, 666. Here's the wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and his number is 666. Okay, carbon. Okay, protons and neutrons have a mass of 1.672, or 1.67. Now the 6 and the 7 is significant. Okay, here's beta decay. Beta decay of a neutron transforms into a proton by the emission of an electron accompanied by an antineutrino, or conversely, a proton is converted into a neutron by emission of a positron with a neutrino in so-called positron emission. And omega is the end, or the growth in space. It has a value of 800, or 8, which is a bicubic area. Okay, it literally means great O, or great zero. Okay, also here, 6 and 7 equal 13. Okay, you have the 6th and the 7th days, and you have carbon, nitrogen compounds. Okay, here's the Planck constant, 6.62607,004. There's 6 quarks, 6 leptons, and technically 6 boson. Well, there's 4 bosons and then the gluon and photon, because these have their counter factor. First law of thermodynamics: energy cannot be created nor destroyed. In a sense, in essence, energy can be converted from one form into another, and that's true. Second law of thermodynamics says that processes that involve the transfer or conservation of energy are irreversible. The second law states that there is a natural tendency of an isolated system to degenerate into a more disordered state. This is whenever the universe comes into existence. It's okay, when it's a singularity, it's really hot. It blows up and it gets into a warm state. And as it's in this warm state of matter, it's burning out. And that's what stars are doing. And essentially over time, it's going to reduce back to ash, because literally it's only going to get colder. It's only going to get colder. Now, the third law of thermodynamics states that entropy of a system approaches a constant value as temperature approaches absolute zero. Now, this is ground state, okay? But in space, there is no ground. So it can't go to absolute zero. What it's going to do is reduce to the point where it's at a near absolute zero, the minimal energy output. It's at the least amount of energy it can possibly put out. And then it's going to just climb right back up and most likely reform another universe from all of that energy and mass and ashes and dust that's out there in the universe after the universe burns out. The phoenix is going to rise from the ashes again. Now, just to throw it out there, in ancient Greek folklore, a phoenix is a long-lived bird that cyclically regenerates or is otherwise born again. Associated with the sun, a phoenix obtains new life by arising from the ashes of its predecessor, hence the multiple universes. Okay, some legend says it dies in a show of flames and combustion, stars, over billions of years. Others, that it simply dies and decomposes before being born again. That's what it does. Both of these are true. In the motif index of folk literature, it doesn't sound like folk literature, it just sounds like they're referring to something real. A tool is used by folklorists, the phoenix is classified. See, then they start, well, it's not real. You see what I'm saying? But how much sense does that make when your perspective isn't obscured? All of this ancient stuff, they were talking about something. Why do you think they took it serious? Okay, they were talking about something serious. They just didn't have the instruments and stuff that we have now to be able to measure this stuff. They might have, who knows? At some point, we did reach a technological state 13,000 years ago at least. And that history died. But I'm sure some people down the line redug it up and tried to understand it the best way they could, and it gave them their beliefs and religious structures and stuff. And that's where all this stuff came from. You see what I'm saying? It's based off of some truth, but thousands of years of word of mouth has obscured and literally buried any kind of roots of truth. You just have to dig for them deep.